Hi, everyone, and happy weekend. I hope you all had a great weekend and you're enjoying the just the time and space. I hope you've had a great weekend. We're jumping into week 5 of this course, which is just so hard to believe. I can't even believe it that we're already into October and it feels very much like fall out there, doesn't it? So this week is also your Thanksgiving long weekend coming up. So you have a short week. You have 4 class periods this week, and you also have 4 class periods next week. So that's always nice, isn't it? And I think this will feel like a little bit of a break. We've been really ramping up, and this week we are kind of slowing down a little bit, but I think you'll enjoy the content. This week we are focusing mostly on the sort of the topic of what is a manager. So you're expected to go through this lesson. There's a video in there as well. I, as always, recommend it. It's very important that you do take notes on the lessons and make sure that you are keeping those notes organized. From here moving forward, I'm really going to be looking for you to be connecting to the material that we cover in these lessons in these slides. Okay, so think of these as like this is the meat and potatoes of the course. So if you have an assignment, I'm going to want you to be referring back to this content. So say you're talking about, what kind of decision that you might make, you're going to come back and refer to some of the strategies that you learned in the slide deck about what it takes to be a manager. So some of those managerial competencies that are covered. Okay, it's really important that I see that you are really being specific to the content and showing me that you're doing the work, that you're going through the material, that you're not just giving me your opinions, but that you're actually implementing the curriculum and the content that I share with you in these slides and showing me that you're actually understanding it. So I'm really going to be looking for that moving forward in your assignments. Okay. You can practice that this week by this discussion post. So you're assigned the lesson, and then you're also assigned formally for grade the discussion post. So in order to complete the discussion post, you have to watch the Office Land documentary. So this documentary is available through the CBC. It is 43 minutes. You do have to watch the whole thing, so I just urge that you don't try to multitask while you're watching it. Personally, multitasking is not actually real. You can't have something on and then be texting or doing something and actually processing what you hear or see. You do actually have to watch it. This documentary is going to show up on your unit test. So it is important that you actually watch it. Okay. When you watch it, take notes on the content so that when you go to study for your unit test, you can just review that material and you don't have to rewatch the documentary. Okay. For this task, you're assigned a class discussion post. The discussion post, as always, has been posted in Classroom under communication discussions. You've had 2 discussion posts so far, and this will be the 3rd. Okay, so you'll scroll down and you'll see discussion post 3, Office Land. So as always, for your discussion posts, you can prepare your answers in a video format or you can prepare them in written format. You do have to be very specific to your answers. So for example, in this thread that you create, these are the questions you have to answer. So it's a bit more detailed because this is your only assigned task for the week. So you're going to list 2 specific things that you learned from the documentary, and I want it to be specific. I don't want it to be like something like they talked about how cubicles should go. Like that's not specific. That's super vague. That doesn't prove to me that you actually watched the documentary. Your goal is to prove to me that you watched the documentary. Okay. Then you're going to go through these questions and just reflect on your own self, what type of office space you think you might like to work in the future. If you are the type of person that would prefer to work completely remotely, these are things you really want to be thinking about as a potential grade 12 graduate because you're going to be applying for school programs this year and going forward in your career choices. And ultimately, if you're not the type of person that wants to have to work in a bricks and mortar place, Monday to Friday, you might not want to become a doctor or you might not want to become a teacher, right? So it really does gauge your career choices, the type of work environment that you want. So we're going to be reflecting on that. Okay. All right. And you will also go through an opinion question here. So do you think we need offices today? In this question, I really want you to refer to the documentary. Again, prove to me that you watched the documentary. And the last question, I want you to do some outside research. I want you to look at what are other companies doing today, because there is a lot of really cool, innovative things happening in other outside companies, especially tech companies or artistic creative companies, animation companies, with how they're running their office spaces. what kind of flexible work environments they're allowing for their employees. So it's really interesting to see. So I want you to do a little bit of digging, and I want you to critically analyze, what you think this company is doing well or not well based on the research that you find, and share that with the class. As always, with your discussion posts, you are also responsible for reading and reviewing 2 peer posts and then commenting on their posts. Make sure you ask a question of your peers as well when you do your post. So you're going to answer all these questions, then you're going to ask a question of your peers, and then you're going to post it, and then you're going to go and you're going to read and reply and comment on 2 peer posts. That's going to give you the full mark and the full experience of collaborating with your classmates and learning more about different companies and the different type of work environments that are out there. Okay? I mean, ultimately, I have people who I know who have chosen where they want to work based on the nature of the work environment. So it's important that we do this research to learn, right? Because that's going to, again, give you more ideas about the type of career you want to have in the future. Okay, so this is what you've been assigned for this week. I've given you the rest of the week just to work on that Wednesday and Thursday. So it's a pretty gentle week. So I have big expectations for this discussion post. It's really important to me that you put your best foot forward in that, and that you really show me that you've watched that documentary and made those connections. Because you have a long weekend and Thanksgiving is on Monday, this is also not due until Tuesday at 8 a.m., which is nice. You have that extra bit of time. And if it were me, I would make sure I get this work done before Friday so I could just enjoy my long weekend. Okay? So that's it for this week. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Make sure you send me an email. 5th weeks are coming up, so that means that you'll also be getting marks back. And then next week, you'll have a mark update for 5th week reports. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. And otherwise, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you online.